Hey guys, welcome to the channel. It's Carolyn. I'm a tarot reader, empath, and psychic. And today's video is going to be about my creepy tarot/oracle cards in my collection. And so I kind of want to make this a challenge video for others because it's not just about look-wise what's creepy. I'm talking about cards that even if the artwork itself isn't creepy, it's cards that your subconscious does not like. For some reason, it crawls under your skin. And I want to challenge you guys to go through your tarot and oracle cards and find these cards in your collection and then do shadow work with it. Find out what you don't like about it. What is reflecting this negative energy back to you, and what wounds do you need to heal so that it doesn't affect you anymore? And so I went through my collection and I narrowed it down to the 5 creepiest cards I have. And I'm going to be doing more in-depth shadow work on these cards on my Instagram. So if you don't already follow me there, I'm going to have it linked in the description box. And so if you don't know what shadow work is, basically shadow work is connecting with your shadow. It's the negative aspects of yourself, and it's where you can bring them to the surface so you can look at them, you can analyze them, and you can then heal your shadow. And so with people, it's always said that the people you don't like, they are mirroring back to you things that you don't like about yourself. So I kind of had the idea that if we go through our collection of tarot and oracle cards and we look through them, we can kind of find the same thing with cards, and through that we can heal what makes us so uneasy about these cards. And so if you follow suit with this idea, please let me know. I would love to have updates on your shadow work and how it's going for you. So the first card I have is the Two of Swords from the Light Seers deck. Now, I love the Light Seers deck. I use it all the time, and I really like the way that it reads. And so I know that this card is a little bit jarring against all the other images. It's a little bit more of the darker cards that goes more with the shadow side of things. But I still feel like this card, even though it's supposed to be a darker card, it just makes me feel very uneasy. I think the first reason for this is that growing up, I would read the Brothers Grimm fairy tales, and especially in Cinderella, it made me very nervous when anything with birds and eyes is related. And with this card, it really makes me think of the stepsisters and how at the end the birds pick their eyes out. And I don't know, to me this image just kind of reflects that in it, because she is blindfolded and she has the 2 birds leading her. It makes me feel almost like she's not in control. And with the Two of Swords, to me, that's a card where you're supposed to be in control, where you're supposed to be making the decision or about to make a decision. And in this deck, to me, it reads more as someone is making the decisions for you. It's like you're at a crossroads and you're not picking either of them. It definitely makes me feel like the crows are in charge of her and she's not in control of her own destiny. I think another thing that makes me very uneasy about this card is the fact that she looks almost like she's a corpse. And so to me, it's like she's not in charge of her life anymore. It's like she's just been going through the motions for so long, and now she's letting other people control her. And so I think that just makes me very unsettled with that energy, because it's something that I don't really like, and I don't like seeing other people being controlled and manipulated by the things around them. I like it when people take accountability and when you're able to make the choices that are best for you. So I think it just makes me very uneasy because it's things that I don't like, that I wouldn't want for me. And so my subconscious is trying to fight against that. So the second card I have is Your Higher Self from the Quantum Oracle. And I think I have 2 issues with this card. I think the first one is the artwork on it. I just don't vibe with it. It feels like there's a mask and a facade. But I think another issue with this card is that when I first got it, it got a little beat up when I was using it. And so I don't know if that put some negative energy in my head about this card. Whenever I get this in readings, it makes me feel very uneasy. It doesn't feel like the energy you would feel from your higher self. To me, it feels very negative and very dark. And I think it's because as much as I want to agree with the image on the card and I want to look at the heart that's shining through and knowing that like your higher self is speaking to you, I keep feeling like this girl on it is not happy. I keep feeling like her smile is forced and that she looks like she's putting this mask on out to the world, and it doesn't really reflect what I would believe your higher self reflects. I think that the heart on it really does reflect the card well, but to me, the image of the girl, I don't know why I feel like this dark energy about it, but anytime I pull this card, I just feel like there's some sort of manipulation going on. And so it's kind of been something I've never been able to shake when I do pull this card. And then we have the Two of Cups from the Beautiful Creatures deck. Now, I actually have a love-hate relationship with this card. I always like it when it appears in readings, and it definitely tells me that there's some sort of karmic soul connection and soul contract. And so I really like using it, and when it appears in readings, I don't mind reading with it. But to me, there also is an element of it that reminds me of death, and I don't know why that is. I don't really pick up with that with my readings, but just looking at the card, that's the energy I pick up. And so that kind of makes me feel uneasy about this card. But to me, that's against what the Two of Cups represents. Because to me, the Two of Cups represents union, working together, working as a partnership, really coming together, building things, birthing something into creation. information. And so I think that's why this card creeps me out, is because the image that I associate in my mind is so much of the opposite of what this card means. And I also feel like the energy in this card, it's like someone is going through with something and they're not fully committed to it. They're not fully wanting to do it. And I think that's why my subconscious has such an issue with that energy, because it's not being authentic. And for the fourth card, we have I Want to Be a Queen. And again, this goes back to not simply the artwork that I don't like, but just the energy of the card, because I really feel like the image of this card fits it really well, because the theme of I Want to Be a Queen is doing whatever it takes to get to where you want to be. And so this image on the card is very sly, almost like a trickster, and so that fits with someone who's going to do what it takes to be a queen. And so I feel like that manipulating trickster energy is not something I would want to have in my life. So it makes me uneasy, because it's something that if I ever got this card in a reading, I would know I need to address it, find the solution for it, and get it out of my life, because it's not something I want. And especially because I am an empath, this to me is reading as someone who is not necessarily an empath. They don't really care about others. They don't care about what needs to be done in order to get to the top. And so I think that makes me uneasy on a subconscious level, because I would never be able to do that. And so I feel like that energy, being very egocentric, doing what you want and only caring about yourself, I feel like it just doesn't go with me at all. And so that's why my subconscious doesn't like this card. It has nothing to do with the message and the meaning of the Oracle card, because I think it does that job very well. And if you need to pick up on that energy, it's going to be really good at doing so. But it's just something I don't want in my life. So card number 5 is the Tall Tale, and it's from Oracle of the Seven Energies. And so me, I think this all has to do with the image on it, and I feel like it's because it's a puppet, and I believe it's supposed to be Pinocchio for the message of this card, which I get. I think it delivers the message really well, but I personally don't like puppets. To me, they're just as creepy as clowns, and so I feel like I don't vibe with this card just because it creeps me out, and I feel like there's going to be more shadow work on this once I actually figure out what it is about the puppets that I don't like. And so to me, like, this card is definitely creepy because of that, because it's a puppet in the middle of nowhere, and it definitely looks like it could be out of a horror film. So I just don't like that energy at all from what it looks like. So that's it for today's video. If you decide to do your own shadow work from this video, let me know in the comments down below. I would love to hear how it goes for you guys. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up with the shadow work. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share with others. I post 4 videos a week, and I would love to have you guys a part of this family, so hit subscribe if you haven't already, and also turn on that notification bell so you see when I post my next video. And I'll see you all in my next video. Have a good one. Bye.